morning, everybody. Today is November the 6th, 2020. And I just want to say a very big shout out to anybody who will listen to this at any particular point in time. It's an inspiration that, I just kind of be boiling up in my heart this morning. And I would like to share it with any of you that is listening at the moment. The words that we said, the things we said, does have a very powerful effect, both in the present and in the future. In my book titled "The Success Signature," I talk about, I gave an exposition on the law of creative affirmation. Now, what this means is that any word that we speak has an effect. In fact, as a matter of our life, our present life is actually it is a reflection of the type of words we have spoken to our lives, as well as the words that other people have spoken, which we have taken to be true. Things that we have taken to become our concepts and principles of life. We build a self-concept based on our belief system and what we, our thought patterns. This is what we project on the outside. Now, there are quite a lot of examples of this. I would like to give an example from the scriptures in Mark chapter 11, where Jesus was passing by, and he saw a tree, and because he wanted some fruit from this tree, and he found out that the tree is not producing any fruit, and Jesus spoke to that tree and said, asked the tree to say that the tree is going to be withered, as in, he cursed the tree. His disciples, everybody around was wondering, why is this guy talking to the tree? But little did they know that that's a principle that he's trying to demonstrate. Now, the following day, the disciples noticed that same tree that Jesus Christ spoke to has actually withered, so it has started rotting away. Remember, when he said that, nothing really changed, but the following day they noticed a visible change in the tree, and they said, "Wow, Master, this tree that you spoke to has just started withering. We can see the visible evidence of the curse that you placed on the tree." And then he looked at them and said, "Listen, in this life, if you can say to a mountain," and the mountain here represents a challenging situation, because mountains are immovable, isn't it? So it represents any challenging situation, something that seems insurmountable. He said, if you can say to this mountain, "Be you removed and be you cast into the sea," without doubting, that you shall have what you say. So this principle here goes a long way to demonstrate that whatever we say concerning any circumstances we might be passing through, concerning any situation, it will surely come to pass. So this principle has a lot to do with also faith. In times like this, when people are, the economy, people are facing all sorts of economic challenges. There is a global crisis, pandemic, wars, rumors of wars. People are being polarized by elections in many countries. Example in US, where we have seen a lot of polarization. Men on the street with guns, fighting one another, Republican, Democrats, Biden, Donald Trump, and all sorts of atrocities. You hear of nations, where wars are now taking place, which it normally started with arguments, and all of you, before you know it, it's climaxed into wars. Azerbaijan, and so on and so forth. We are currently having all these wars going on. Recently, we have another one in another showdown in Africa. Elections, oppositions, coming against the incumbent. A lot of not too, stories coupled with the pandemic. Whenever you put on the television, you hear all these things in the media, and none of these things are positive news. So in times like this, men's hearts will begin to fail. A lot of hopelessness. People can't see whether there's gonna be a future for them. But that's where the power of creative affirmation comes in. Because in this life, you create your own world. If you don't, then you will be influenced with the world out there. And that influence is not gonna be good at all. So the point I'm making is it's time to start changing the circumstances around us with what we want to see, rather than with what we are seeing at the moment. So that's where the law of faith comes in. So I will summarize faith as the ability to see the invincible and believe that it's possible, and you start acting accordingly. Okay. So when we see things like this, what will we say? Instead of saying, "Oh, I can't," I won't, instead of saying that you cannot succeed, "Oh, you are," the situation is hopeless, and you find out that things like that will start. You can't see a way out of the circumstances. Depression comes in, suicidal thoughts comes in, hopelessness comes in. What will you say? No, you begin to replace the image, because this is the battle of the mind. You begin to replace that image with the future that you want to feature. Okay? You begin to say, no, this crisis is not for me. In fact, this is an opportunity for me to become that which I want to become in life. It's an opportunity for me to create uncommon wealth that will benefit not just myself, but a lot of people. In fact, this is an opportunity for me to own companies, empires. Okay? You begin to speak what you want to see. No, I won't be sick. I won't be among the numbers that are going to be, to fall into the dangerous hand of the COVID. Okay, you begin to say things, bring changes into your own life. Because this is very important. As a matter of fact, if you say nothing, you become a victim. Life is a bit like a field, a garden. If you plant the fruit that you want and you water them, they will grow very well. If you plant nothing, something will still grow, and in that case, it's gonna be weed, and you don't want weed into your life. So you have to say what you want to make your garden a vibrant and fruitful garden. Otherwise, you have thorns, you have weed, and this is not what you want. So it's now to start programming our mind. We got to program our mind with the things that we want to see in our life. We pen the pictures. I call this the law of creative visualization. You got to pen the pictures of what you want to see, and you believe. You got to believe that these things are possible, because that's where the law of faith comes in. Okay, see the invincible, believe that it's possible, and you begin to act accordingly. Don't allow yourself to be stuck in the rut that there is no way out. Irrespective of what's happening, keep your focus on that vision, because it's only that vision that will get you to where you want to be. As I said before, if you see nothing, if you say nothing, you will have nothing. You will be subject to the influences that is already in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is charged already. And this is also scientific. Okay? It's energies that are being released. positive or negative? Which one do you want to be part of? So what do? You create your own energy. You create your own force field to neutralize any negative energy around yourself. Otherwise, you allow yourself to be subject to the attraction of the negative influences that is already out there in the world. So what's your main takeaway from this? The main takeaway, the nuggets from this is, begin to saturate your atmosphere with words, positive words of affirmation. Oh, I am healthy. I am happy. I have a bright future. I will always have abundance. I will always create jobs. Even when there is economic crisis, crunches, yes, I will thrive. I will not be sick. I will always have a lovely relationship. None of my family will be subject to this. In my city, people will not die. In my city, they will thrive because I'm part of that city. My nations will thrive. My nation will thrive. You begin to say the things that you want to see. Create the picture. Create the picture, because life is about laws. And one of the fundamental laws is the law of your proclamation, your affirmation. You create what you want through the power of your tongues. The scripture says that life and death are in the power of your tongues. And this is very important. You see, any future that we create now is what we will walk into. Okay? If you create the wrong picture, the wrong, if you continue to say the wrong thing, you will continue to live and walk in that wrong thing. And then, by saying those right things, by saying the things you want, it will influence your vision, where the law of creative visualization comes in. Then your attitude will begin to change. That's the only way your mind will begin to envision a way out of the circumstances. You become creative. You become creative ideas will start coming to you. To change the circumstances, make them align to what you want to see. Okay. You see, there this quote that you don't really get to know the type of your strengths until you find yourself in very deep waters. Okay. And then you cannot, you see, life is not just about merry-go-round, when things are fine. That's not life. You get to know the strength, the depth of what you can do during crisis. Okay? And when crisis happen, it changes the dynamics of our lives. But it is left for us to redesign our life, reconceptualize what we want to see, and begin to change the circumstances, begin to speak, begin to see. Hold on to that vision that you want for your life. Okay? Believe that it is going to happen. Stick to it. That's your story. Stick to it. No matter what's happening, stick to it. And don't allow yourself to spiral into depression, suicidal thoughts, because there is a way out. Okay? And then most importantly, because most of these things is also spiritual as well as physical. Most importantly, make time for a relationship with the Creator, the one that created the universe, the heaven and the earth, because He is the one that have the whole answer. He knows the way out of every situation. When things are beyond human control, that's where the supernatural comes in. So I'm also using this opportunity to say to you, if you're listening to me this morning and you think you don't have a relationship with the Lord, it's time to build that relationship now. It's time to call Him, say, Lord, I don't know you, but I'm open. I want you to come into my life and be the Lord of my life. Change the circumstances around me. I am your son. I am your daughter. I receive you in my life today. Help me to be the best of what you have created me. Help me to accomplish that purpose for which I have been brought into this world. And when you do that, you will be amazed at the peace that will come into your life. You will be amazed at the way that He will begin to shape your life. You will begin to see things. Things will begin to come to you. You begin to see the future that He has created for you. Ask Him, what's your purpose? because if you are still alive, your purpose unfinished. You got something unique about you that still needs to be fulfilled. People that you are alive today means that there are people that you are supposed to be a positive influence on. There is a purpose that you are supposed to accomplish. So until that purpose is finished, you are not finished, my friend. So this is a few words for you this morning, and we'll be coming right back to you any other time. Stay strong, stay blessed. This is Clem's Masterpiece Inspiration. Thanks for listening.